Good morning, and day one. Welcome to another episode of Untomato. Untomato is Nigerian language for words of wisdom. And these are words of wisdom that I share with you so that you can add to your repertoire. It is my pleasure. I am your host. It says so on the screen, Dr. Uwa Onyoha Usimiri. It is my honor, always a pleasure to find another moment to spend with you. Thank you for being here. I hope you love my colors. Sometimes I just want to be colorful because, that's what life is all about. You've got to be colorful. You make life what you want it to be. So today, my spirit is high, I'm colorful, and I hope that you're in the same space as I am. And if you're not, at least at the end of this program, I'm hoping that you will feel so much better. For current events, I ask people to send me letters about topics of interest to them. You can send them to my email, theindomodushow@gmail.com. And then I'll be sure to incorporate some of your thoughts in my program. I have some individual who, I had several letters, but one that stood out for me was one from an individual who pretty much talked about contemplating suicide, and it's understandable how this world that we're in is really stressing people out, and people are contemplating all sorts of things. So I get it. And that's why, quite frankly, I'm excited about the workshop that I provide. And the whole objective of that workshop is a 3-part workshop series. And it's called Tapping Into Your Power. I'm giving it on May 28th, 2022 on behalf of the African Women Mobilization Commission. I want you to be a part of this experience because it's going to be life-changing, exhilarating. You have to sign up at africanwomencommission.net. And the fee is listed there. It will be an experience. It will help you to understand the 3 secrets that will help you to tap into your inner power and change your life. And if you were ever contemplating committing suicide, hopefully you will change your mind. It is a difficult time, and people are just doing all sorts of things, trying to cope. You see, each and every day we're asked to be just a little bit wiser and smarter in our relationship with our world. And some of us know how to cope, some of us don't know how to cope, but we have the capacity, all of us, to be able to cope. We just have to find ways and learn ways and be willing to learn new things that can help you change your mind, that can help you modify what you're doing and discourage negativity in your mind. My workshop covers renewal, and you will learn about the role of the mind in your life, the role the mind plays in your life, and what role it plays in the decisions you make. And then the other part is reaffirmation. You will learn about the power of living in the moment as a living construct, not focused on the past, because we tend to do that. And then reassure your mind that you are ready and you are okay. You're going to be just fine. You see, your mind gives it what you feed it, gives you what you feed it. And so it is my hope that you join us for this workshop. It's May the 28th. And if you go there, if you go to africanwomencommission.net and sign up, you will get a link to the Zoom workshop. So I'm hoping to see quite a bit of you. Some of you have signed up, and I'm excited about that. And we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. This show is focused on renewal and learning about the role of the mind in your life. See, you cannot be all that you are destined to be when you are full of preconceived notions, flat out wrong ideas and judgments of others and yourself. And you buckle under the weight of the criticisms heaped upon you, and your shoulder becomes heavy. You become emotionally drained, and you just have all these things plaguing your life, and you're listening to where they're coming in, and a lot of them come in and they stay. They come in and they're absorbed, and you stay there, and you become weaker and weaker, and you start contemplating all sorts of things. I don't even like to use that word, suicide, because suicide is so final. It doesn't solve anything. It may take you out of the picture from whatever that issue is you're having, but then it exposes your family to your loss. So it doesn't solve anything. It may solve something for you. But I think that some people don't even understand the finality of such a thing. So to help you to get out of that, we're going to have this conversation. And I believe this conversation is going to help you to think differently. Don't buckle under criticisms. Don't buckle under emotionally draining things that's plagued you all your life. I want you to pay attention. You're lugging baggage. We all do. All of us lugging baggage. Some of us big baggages, some of them small, but we all have luggage. Now, see, for the Holy Spirit to lift you up to where you need to be, you can't come with your hands full of baggage, your shoulder heavy with baggage. You're dragging and you want to be blessed. No. We got to start by letting go of that baggage. We got to renew our contract with Holy Spirit. See, when you came into this world, renewed. You were brand new. You didn't know anything. You didn't have all these negativity surrounding you. For the most part, many of us come into an environment of love, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, whomsoever, excited about you being here. We need to go back to building that contract with the Holy Spirit, because you see, you were brought here to be great, to do great things. Now, things in life will stall you. Things in life will stall you. Because as you get older and older and older, life begins to happen to you. You start to absorb things. Now, see, when you're younger, your mother or your father, they help you ease all of that pain. When you are struggling and all of that, or you're hurting, you bump your knee, you bump your head, you scrape your knee or whatever, mom and dad are there. For those of us so lucky to have moms and dads. But for some of us, don't have that, but some of us had individuals in our lives that played the role of moms and dads. But in other words, what I'm trying to say, when you're younger, somebody is helping you overcome some of your challenges. But when you get older, it becomes a little bit more difficult. But you see, we simply cannot go through life with your minds full of stuff. We cannot expect to be lifted up with our fists clenched and our teeth gritted, and we're full of anger and dread. Many of us don't even want to go out and do anything because we're so fearful of what the world will think. What would they say about me? Is my hair right? Am I too tall? Am I too short? Am I fat? Hey, what is wrong? What's wrong is baggage. You've put so much has been put in your head that you're now fearful of living. You're fearful of life. You don't want to be a part of whatever's going out there because you just know the whole world is after you. And that's what's happened. That's what happens when you're full of dread. You think, oh my God, if I get out that door, somebody's coming after me. They are going to treat me badly. So you shrink, you hide. See, I'm telling you this. Life can be cruel. And we get caught up with life and its cruelty and some of the negative things that happen to us. At our lowest level, we ask for divine intervention. We pray. We ask, I've done so much, I've got so much going, God, or whatever you call God, please help me. I need help. I can't do it by myself. You see, you came into this world prepared to handle things. You came into it. It's okay to pray. Because when you pray, you're renewing, you're attempting to renew that relationship you had with the Creator. When you were born, that relationship was tight. You came into the world without the expectations of baggage. And quite frankly, the Creator did not bring you here to have all that baggage. Yes, you're going to have life's experiences. That's how you learn. But you're not supposed to hold it to the extent that you can't do anything anymore. Now you get so full of it. Now you want to take your life. I'll tell you one thing. It's very difficult for any messaging to come through to the Creator, for God to understand what we want, because we're just so full of stuff and we're grappling with, we can't even verbalize what our needs are. We walk around with very structured impressions. And then at the same time that we don't even know what we want, we start demanding, do this for me. I need this. I need that. What we need for ourselves, sometimes we don't even know. We can't even make up our minds exactly what it is we want, what it is we want to have. The thing that's not the way things, see, life doesn't work the way we want it. Life does not give you everything on a silver platter. Yes, you came in here without baggage. You're going to pick up some of them. But the important thing is don't hold on to it. Happier. There's an African proverb that says, let goodness fall into my hands and let all the bad things fall by the wayside. But unfortunately, for a lot of us, we say, let the good things fall by the wayside. Let's just hold on to the misery. Let us hold on to the challenges. Let us hold on to the misconceptions. Let us hold on to all the baggage people dump on us. And somehow we get stuck there. We can't move. Divine intervention cannot happen if you're so full of your stuff. I'm going to keep saying that. Full of your stuff. And you know, those of you who are listening, you know what I mean. You've got stuff. And sometimes it's difficult for somebody to convince you to let some of those things go. Throughout our lives, we have moments of anger. We are frightened, fearful, desperate. Yes, these things happen. I cannot tell you that there's a human being living that has not had moments of anger, that we have not had times of fear or desperation. Sometimes we're just so upset about things that we've gone through in life, that some of those things and some of those people, you know what I mean? Those people, what they've done for us and to us, they become our enemies. But here's the thing. Yeah, they are enemies out there, but don't make yourself an enemy. If you focus so much on what negativity people present to you, then you become your own enemy. There are some things that it's not worth remembering. There are some things we must remember. There's some things to hold on to, those positive things. And I'm not here to tell you that it's very easy to let go of negative things. When people do wrong by you, it is the hardest thing to let go. Because guess what? These are people you trusted. These are people you loved. And they do this to you. Or maybe you feel that you're so qualified for something, you're prepared, you're ready to go, and then you're turned down. That one job, you went to school for so many years, and then all of a sudden, you are prepared to take on the world, and guess what? It didn't quite work out that way. So you're dragging, you're pushing negativity into the universe, and it comes back to you. It's like boomerangs. The thoughts that you have out there, what you hold on to and you throw out there in the universe, it will come back to you. If that's all you think about, all that negative thought people say to you. You see, there are people who do things to you intentionally to diminish you. And as long as you allow them to diminish you, as long as you let your anger about what they've done to bring your spirit down, hold you down, weight you down, diminishing you, it's not a difficult thing for them to do. It's the most powerful thing in their hands, in their arsenal, because all they have to do is say these things, do these things, and here you fall apart. I want to share this story. When I came to the United States, I went to the University of Northern Alabama. That was one of the most difficult things I ever did in my life because I was not used to racism. I was absolutely not used to it. You know, to me, a human being was a human being. We're all different. I was not raised around racism until I got to the University of Northern Alabama. Now, let me just say this. University of Northern Alabama is a beautiful university. I learned a lot there. Beautiful people, but there were some difficult moments that could have just made me say, hey, I can't do this anymore. I remember when we had to take tennis, you know. I knew a little bit of tennis, but, you know, but I wasn't, you know, it's one of those classes everybody gets an A, you know, so, hey, why not take that? So I knew a little bit of it. But what shocked me about racism, and that could have really debilitated me, was the fact that because I'm from, and I've got to say that a lot of the people there didn't know much about Africans. They really didn't know. That's a long story. I could tell you a whole bunch of stuff about my experience at the University of Northern Alabama, but a lot of the people don't know. They didn't know much about African people. So some of them didn't want to take tennis with me. They didn't want to take any tennis with me. So I found myself struggling to take this class because nobody would play tennis with me. There was a young man there, Dog was his name, and he was not a very good looking child, and quite not okay. I don't want to describe anybody in a negative way because that's not fair, but he wasn't that much good looking, and because of that, nobody wanted to have him as a partner. Do you see what I'm saying? But I was the one. Nobody wanted to play with me either. Nobody wanted to play with me either. So he didn't have anyone because it was really a strange looking young man. And everybody they all had their partners. I didn't have a partner. Found out that it was because of my color. And he didn't have a partner. Well, he didn't want me to be his partner either. Okay, now he's been rejected by everybody else, and he rejected me because I'm African, and he didn't want to play the tennis with me, right? So finally, I looked at the situation, and I thought, my goodness, if nobody wants to play with you, you don't want to play with me. We're about to flunk this class. And I am not prepared to fail this class. I need it because my father told me, when you start failing in school, okay, you will come back to Nigeria. You're coming back home. So I was not about to fail. So I told this young man, listen, nobody wants me. Nobody wants you. But we have to pass this class. We have to pass this class. So come on. Join me. Let's play it. He looked at me like he was shooting darts at me, like no, I'm not going to play with you. I mean, he had his little racist attitude. All the other kids it was just a horrific experience. And I'm sitting there. The instructor didn't want to play with me either. So I finally advised the young man, convinced him that look, we have to pass this class. No matter what you feel about me, and no matter how you look. This is not the time for you to let your racism come through because we have to move forward. Let's do this. And you know what was interesting? He realized that, well, nobody was going to play with him, only this girl here. And I was 16 and a half, and I wasn't even quite 17. I started college at age 16 and a half. So eventually, he found it in him to lower his standards to play with this black girl. That was his attitude. So, but what happened was magical. We started playing, and as we played, we talked, and I found out about him and who he was and why he was going to college, and he found out where I was from. He got interested about Africa, and he wanted to know a little bit more about Africa and all that sort of thing. So as the weeks progressed, we became good friends. And, eventually we passed it. I kind of knew we'll pass it anyway, but we passed it. But he was really a good tennis player. So he was able to teach me more than I knew. And I was able to open his mind about people of African descent that he did not know. And he apologized profusely at the end of the course that he was really very ignorant. I said, that's what holds people apart. That's what holds people apart, And he thought he was he thought he was doing the right thing by joining the other people to relegate me to the sidelines. But he found that eventually that he didn't do me any good, do him any good, and he didn't do me any good either. And eventually we became good friends and we learned, you see. So that experience was so negative initially, to know that you were just rejected for your color, and whereas I've always been raised to understand there was nothing wrong with who I am. You see what I'm saying? So that was quite jarring. And it was jarring for him too. I mean, he learned very quickly that it's not who he is that, his outer appearance that matters. It is what he does, who he is, the personality, the spirit in him. That's what matters. And after the students started seeing how good he was, they all tried to pull him away from me. They wanted to switch sides and all that sort of thing. But at this time, he decided, no, I think I have my partner for this class. And so that turned out very well. So there are things, I know that every one of you has a story to tell. There's some things that you want to remember that happened to you, some things that you don't want to remember, some things are so bad that you're ashamed of them, some things are so bad that you just want to punch somebody in the face, you're so angry and all that sort of thing. But I'm telling you, to renew, you got to let go of that baggage. Yeah, it's not easy. Each time you find right now, if you're crying a lot and you find yourself depressed, once you start making a note of all those baggage that you're carrying, and the more and more of them that you let go, the lighter your shoulder will become. It's not going to be an overnight thing. But if you want to move forward, no matter how afraid or how ashamed or angry or how upset you are, you must empty out. You must empty out. Check your baggage. I have a challenge for all of you today. Check your baggage. What's in your baggage? Take a piece of paper, write it down. Now, some people, when you tell them what to do, it sounds good at first, but they don't follow through. But I dare you to do this. Get a little baggage, a little bag. You could even be a purse, it could be a luggage or whatever it is, an enclosure for saving things. Write down all those things that bother you. I'm telling you, you will find you're no different from anyone else. We all have baggage. So what you do is write all those things down. Empty out after you've written it down. Check it and see. Problem-based learning. What are these things in my luggage, in my bag? Are they serving any purpose? Say, it's at the time that you have to ask yourself, fear. If you write down fear and put it in your baggage, when you open the baggage and see all these things you've written, now you've got to look at each one of them and ask yourself, what are they doing for me? What is fear doing for me? What is desperation doing for me? What is anger doing for me? Whatever those things are, what are the things that I'm ashamed of? What are the things that people have done to me? What have I done to other people? What are some of those things that are just clogging your baggage? And that baggage is your mind. That luggage is your mind. What are those things? See, you have to start emptying them out. But the only way you can empty them out is to ask yourself, what purpose are they serving? What purpose does being fearful serve for me? And I guarantee you that you will find the word fearful doesn't do anything for you. Ask yourself that question. I'm in fear. What good does that do for me in the long run, in the whole scheme of things? If I'm fearful, am I going to be fearful for the rest of my life? What good is that to me? What does it do for me? If you're fearful, you will find that word has to go. That's one thing has to go. So you've got to find what are those things that make you fearful. You can't just write them down and say, fearfulness doesn't mean anything to me, so I'm going to throw it out. No, you've got to determine what those things are underneath fearful. Are you fearful to leave a relationship? Then the question is, what is that relationship doing for you? If that relationship is draining your mind and making you feel bad and frustrated, then it's got to go. That's the category. Fearfulness, bad relationships, fear of leaving somebody you think you love or somebody who claims to love you, but they do things that don't help you. That's one thing you've got to let go. Under fearfulness Find all those things. Did you have somebody in your life that did you wrong and you're afraid to confront that person because you're not confrontational, but you allow them to keep doing it because you're afraid to tell them what you're doing to me is not helping me. It's not building me up. It's tearing me down. You're afraid to do it. Or maybe you're afraid of leaving, afraid of what you may find out there. Maybe this person is paying the rent. Maybe this person is paying the bills. So you are stuck under there. All of us have moments like that. We all have moments of fear, but you can't just take out of your bag. You can't throw fear away. You have to determine what causes that fear, and you take them little at a time. It's after you have taken every aspect of fear, you've considered them, and you know that you can let them go. That's when you can take fear out of your bag or your luggage or whatever. That's when you empty out. Everything that you put in there is a category. And then it has subcategories under that. And you got to figure out all those things. What good are they doing for me? What good does it do me to hold on to anger? Now you can still be mad at somebody without being so furious that you want to punch and you want to go out. What is causing you that anger? Write that down. Can you let that go? Must you fight? Must you go punching? What do you have under that category that has to go? You got to solve all of that before you throw that out. But I tell you, you will notice your mind gets lighter and lighter when you start throwing some of these things away. What is it that's causing you shame? What is it that's causing you shame? And is that shame real, or is that shame that somebody have imposed upon you? Like you're not pretty enough. The definition of beauty is different for everybody. Some people see beauty just, that you're a beautiful woman or a beautiful man or handsome man. But beauty is skin deep. You have to go beyond your physical look to find what you're ashamed of. Because it's not always, because there are so many people who are not good looking, but they're living very beautiful, normal lives. So not looking gorgeous or whatever is not even the issue. What is it that you are ashamed of? There's other categories. Did something happen to you? Did you experience sexual abuse? Are you ashamed of that? You have to ask yourself, did I cause that? Or was that imposed upon me? Did I cause it? You have to break it all down. It is not going to be easy. You have to, you will sweat. By the time you empty out, you will sweat, and you will ask yourself, you will understand, wow. This is why I'm having challenges. This is why I can't tap into my power. Renewal. I want you all to know to say that. Renewal. To renew your relationship with the Creator. Your contract with life. Your contract with the universe. You got to empty out. But emptying out is not easy. And I'm not sitting here to tell you that it's an easy thing, because it's not even easy for me. And I'm the one giving advice. I have to do the same thing. I have things that I'm holding on to and I should not hold on to. It's taking me a while to let it go. It's taking me a while. I used to be the kind of person that, you upset me, I go after you with a passion, with all of my capacity, because I just know I'm right. And the only way to get over you is just to be angry. But I learned, as far as that goes, to pick my battles. And that's what I say to myself all the time. When I get ready to get angry at somebody, I say, pick your own battles. Pick your battles. Not all battles are worth fighting. You may win the battle, but lose the war. So you have to pick your battle. So what that has done for me, it has lessened that burden on my mind, that anger, being prone to anger sometimes, based, of course, on life experiences. I don't do that anymore. It takes a lot to get me angry. Now, I still get angry, and when I do, trust me, people know. But I have to caution myself. It is not worth the battle. So as you are emptying out, look at all the subcategories under the main categories. That you have to remove all those subcategories before the main category can be removed. Reminder. Because we embrace so much negativity, this is what we are giving the universe to give back to us. That's how we become stuck. We can't move forward because of all of this stuff, all of this, and we're swimming in it. And some of us love it. Because you see, sometimes when you're living in chaos, then you don't have to take responsibility. It gives you pleasure to blame somebody for your condition in the world. After all, you know, this is happening, that is happening, this person is causing it, this person is causing it. As long as you have somebody to blame for your condition in the world, you're not going to get better. As long as those subcategories are still there and healthy and being fed by your emotions, you're never going to be well. Start emptying out. Renewal means not to carry baggage. Renew. So anytime that you find yourself stuck on something, say to yourself, I am going to renew. This is not going to be my reality. I am renewing. I'm not going to always be in this situation, and I'm not going to always be in this condition. But if you don't start taking steps, you're going to be stuck in it. It's easy to do. And like I said earlier, many people get comfortable. They get comfortable being in that condition. You have to ask yourself, am I one of them? Look at my categories. What am I holding on to? What are the subcategories? Can I actually empty out? Now, if you find it's difficult for you to empty out, that's the time that you seek somebody to help you. Either a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a life coach. That's when you seek help. Never assume that you can't handle it. Oh, the first thing you want to do is, I've got all these things now, let me go find somebody to help me. You don't always have to do that. Sometimes you can treat yourself. You can take care of yourself. You can take care of your challenges. You just have to believe that you can. No matter how much fear, anger, how upset you are, no matter what those things are, if you don't empty out, that's how you become frustrated. That's how you get depressed. That's how you you overeat. That's how, those things that you carry also create all those subcategories. So we need to empty out. You were born fresh. You must let go of things that you have picked up in the process of living. And like I said earlier, renewal. You can tell yourself that. I want to renew. I am prepared to renew. Say that in the mirror. I am ready to renew. But you've got to mean it. You can't be a parrot. You can't just talk about what you want to do and you don't do it. You must do it. The best way to come to the divine and ask for all these things you want is that you come empty-handed, without all those stuff. See, you were born fresh. You started fresh. To become fresh again, you must lose all that stuff. Yes, I said it. You're all full of stuff, me included. To start anew, start emptying out. Make it a point of it. When you go for a walk, make that your mantra. I'm emptying out. I'm emptying out. I'm emptying out. I'm emptying out. Stop holding on to negative experiences. Start anew. Start anew. You know, when I've told this story so many times. When I was young, my father had to help me out of my condition. Something that happened to me. I don't like to talk about it too much. I've talked about it before, but you know, he used to tell me, he took me out and told me that the only thing greater than I is the Son, the greatest manifestation of God. That became my mantra. Nobody can tell me anything about who I am. Nobody. I don't allow it. Because I look at you and I say, you are not the Son. Unless you are the Son, you cannot tell me what I can or cannot do. Because I cannot flood my mind with your insecurities. See, when people pick on you, when people say hurtful things, it's because of their own insecurities. It's not really because of you. But you see, when you absorb it, when you believe it, then it becomes your reality. And once it becomes your reality, you begin to deteriorate. Your baggage starts to grow. Your baggage starts to grow. And next thing you know, you're talking about suicide. You're talking about all these things. Let me tell you this. Take back your, but I want to share some of what my viewers are sharing. Take back your power from those that took it from you without your permission. Take it back, for it belongs to you. It was never theirs to take. Yes, 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 I love it. Nosferatu, that is correct. Take back your power. It wasn't theirs to take. And you should not let them keep it. Pull it back. Take it back. This is your world. This is your life. You only have one life to live. You cannot give anybody so much power that they debilitate you and make you feel inadequate, make you feel that you can't, that you have to commit suicide, that you have to be depressed. Don't use the word depressed. Stop using the word depressed. Speak positivity into your space, your mind, so that positivity comes out. You know, some of us just want to talk about, you know, I ain't got this. You know, I tell you one thing, when I say, oh, I can't afford to do this, my son snaps at me. He says, Mom, if you can't afford to do that right now, then do what you need to do to afford it. Stop speaking negativity. If when you're not chuckle, for what you seek, so shall you find. What do you want? What do you want out of life? That's what you speak into the universe. Don't take those negative things that people try to feed you. And I say it over and over and over, and I have to try to even convince myself. Your opinion about me cannot be my reality. Nobody's opinion about you should be your reality. You are a survivor. Brooke Berlin Baxter says, God will put you back together in front of those who tried to break you. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That is true. That's why it's a contract. Renewal contract, because when God put you here, you came here fresh, ready to do great things. Then life starts to happen. You start to meet all these crazy people who want to tell you that you can, and you start absorbing all of that. Words that we share with each other. A contract, if back then we didn't sign contracts, we nodded, we shook hands. So when somebody says something negative and you nod and you accept that, that's your contract. You just sign the contract, because what they say and what they do becomes a part of your experience, becomes a part of your life. It begins to guide you, diminish you, and then your luggage gets heavier and heavier. Empty out. People, hear me. You have to empty out. Difficult as it may be, empty out. No matter what that may be, empty out. There's nothing that the eye see that will cause the eye to bleed. There's nothing that you hear that will bust your ears. Unless, of course, you have your music playing too high. Now, that's a whole different conversation. But the point I'm trying to make here, my dear people, is for you to be renewed, you can't have baggage. You can't carry baggage along and be renewed. You can't. And stop having contracts with people. Don't accept a contract from somebody whose objective is to diminish you. That's a contract. Empty it out. Look on the category. See, what did somebody say to me? If that doesn't do anything positive for you, empty it out. Empty it out. You don't have to hold on to it. I admit, and I tell you that. I don't know how many of us, me included, I always have to include myself in the equation because I'm human. I'm not perfect. So I'm not sitting here to tell you, oh, all is well with me. I'm still alive, still growing. I'm still learning. Even with all of my education, I am still learning. Every single day that I have breath is a learning experience. You can never be too full that you can't learn anything new. So even I have to caution myself. You didn't do this right. That's not the way to do it. Try something different. You have to talk to yourself. Be your own educator. My best friend is in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Sometimes I'm so upset and so down. And I go and look for my friend. And my friend looks back at me in the mirror. And that's me. Because the only person that will have your back is you. Your mama will have your back. Your dad will have your back. Your brothers, sisters, and so forth. But the best person to have your back is you. Now, just because I say you have to empty out, doesn't mean you empty out everything. You have to empty out those things that are negative, those things that are not good for you. But the good things, the good advice that people give you, you need to listen to that. Check it out. Sometimes people tell us something over and over and over, and we don't want to hear it. We don't, because we're full of our stuff. We already know the answer. This is who I am. You can't tell me anything. But sometimes you have to listen to advice. The good ones, not the bad ones, of course, but things that will help you. I want to read something here from Nosferatu again. Emotions come in waves, from the negative to the positive. It ebbs and flows. The tidal waves of depression, despair, and distraught will eventually die down, and the calm, peace, glowing, powerful waves take over. That is true. But you have to be willing to make that happen. Those are just possibilities. They're possibilities. They will happen. But it takes work. You have to be prepared to do the work. You have to be prepared to go the distance. You don't go halfway. When you're renewing, you're going to be sweating. Oh, yes. You're going to, people will be throwing that. Who does she think she is? Who's this new person that's emerging? Yes, as you renew, a new person emerges. That new person is the new you. The one with the new contract with the Creator. The one that's prepared to move to the next level. The one that doesn't have garbage in her luggage. The one that, if you look behind her, you can see a slew of trash behind her. Those are things that she threw out of her luggage. They don't work anymore. She has no purpose. There's no purpose to it. She's ready. You have a fancy gate when you walk. The people say, oh my goodness, what is wrong with this person? She didn't used to be like that. You know why? Because she's renewing. Everything is coming anew. She's becoming fresh. She's accepting her new freshness. She's no longer, you see, I'm going to tell you something. When people see you happy, when people see you going about, some people don't like to see other people do well. But I tell you one thing, as you renew and people start seeing you, efforts will be made to bring you down, make you feel bad. Be just like them. She can't leave us behind. She belongs right here with us. Let's throw darts at her. Let's make her miserable. Let's not do what we're supposed to do. Let's just be mean. But you know what? As you are renewing, When you have that smile on your face and you go right back by them, just say, greetings. It's all good. I'm well. I'm good. I'm moving on. I'm moving past. Just walk right past. The lizard said, if you don't praise me, I'll praise myself. Stop praising yourself. Put a smile on your face wherever you go. Don't let people shoot on you and don't let people see you hurt. Don't let them see the part of you that hurts. If you want them to see the good of you, show them that part. If you want to feel bad, close the door. Cry if you want. People feed off your weakness. People feed off your weakness. Adora says, Norse says, depression is hard to overcome. The battlefield is overflowing with people and or situations that have weighed us down or swallowed us, stacked on top of one another. However, know that the sword to cut the cords that each may hold will become stronger and stronger with each blow you serve. Make those who think they have the upper hand tremble as they realize that they no longer have a hold on you. Renewal is rebirth. Oh, yes, sister. Yes, it is rebirth. And it scares them to those. It scares those. It scares people and also maybe situations. Stay the course, slay the day. Do not be bashful. Don't be wishful thinking. Get on the road. Get in your car. I don't care what you do. Get to stepping. Go. Go. Let me tell you, when people see you trying to do and be what you know you can be, trust me, they're not going to. And here's what we do wrong. We always seem to want to be validated. You don't need validation. The only validation you need is the one that's looking back from the person that's looking back at you. The person looking back at you, that's who validates you. People will hurt you because you allow them. Let the good follow me. Dance with me. You know what I'm saying? Let the rest of you go. I don't need you. My bag is emptying. As I'm emptying my bag, I don't need you in it. Take it out. And let me tell you something. Once you have emptied out, once you begin to renew, oh my God. Even if they don't see it, you see it. Even if they don't see it, you see it. And that's what's so cool about renewal. If you don't speak Igbo, it's something for you to know how to say. Good things fall in my hands. Let all those negative things fall behind me so that people can see the trail of garbage that you are letting go. Let them see the trail. And who knows, they may be part of that trail. There's something that says, Onye se na ihe ma adịghị mma. Onwe tanke ya, ọ ka adịrị ya mma. If you say that what I have is not good for me, when you get your own, hey, may not be good for you either. But I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. That must be your attitude. Renewal means taking over your life. Taking over what you hear, taking over what you say, taking over who you're around. Do not allow people to shoot on you. You know, you should do this, you should do that. That's what it means when people shoot on you. You don't want that. You don't need it. You don't need it anymore. I guess when you get to my age, you find out that it is no longer important for people to validate me. I don't care, really. I've gotten to the point that I don't care. I just don't put any level of validation on anything anybody does anymore. I don't. I think I've earned it with my age, number one. I've earned it, number one, because of my age. So as not said, validate yourself. Love yourself. You are worth it. Yes, you are. No matter what anybody says, you are worth it. Ugwu bụ nkwaita nkwaita. Ugwu bụ nkwaita nkwaita. That's an Igbo for respect goes both ways. If people don't respect you, why are they in your life? Those who respect you are those that you have around you. As you're emptying out, as you're renewing, you will find that the kind of friends that you begin to attract, or the kinds of friends that you allow around you, begin to change. No longer do you have those who are full of negative thought, because now that's not where your mind is. That's not the kind of conversation that you want to have. Let them talk. Let them speak of you, because after all, if they don't speak it, if somebody's talking about you, that means you're doing something right. That means you're important. Otherwise, why spend time talking about you? You see what I'm saying? Life is learning. Brooke says, still learning over here. Yes, Brooke. Of course you're still learning, because you're alive. You're inhaling and exhaling. You have breath. And as long as you have that, you will always learn. You will always learn. There's always something new to learn. Renewal is about learning something new every day. I take my grandsons for a walk. I just don't let them just walk alongside me. We talk about everything. What is that called? What do you think this is? What is that? I try to fill their minds with what is in their world. Before somebody puts negative things in their minds, I want them to see the beauty of the trees, the birds, the worms, whatever. You must begin your renewal process today. If you haven't done so, this is a good time to start. Not tomorrow, not the day after. Today, today is when you get started. You see, the universe does not wait for those who are not sure what they want. The universe doesn't do that. It meets you wherever you are. But you cannot come with clenched fists. You cannot come full of your stuff. Respect and love go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. That's right. If they don't respect you, they don't love you. Nobody who says, I love you, can disrespect you. Know that. You cannot love somebody you disrespect. Somebody loves you. Their goal is for you to be happy. Their goal is not for you to hurt. Now, their goal is not to fill your bag with garbage and you logging it. You logging all that heavy stuff. Life is full of uncomfortable moments. We all have our bags full of uncomfortable moments. But we don't have to carry it with us. It doesn't have to stay with us forever. Sometimes you got to say goodbye. And you got to say goodbye even to some people. You have to learn to say goodbye. There's a song, goodbye is the loneliest word I know, so please don't say goodbye. Goodbye is the only word I know that makes me want to cry. But you know what? Sometimes goodbye is the only word that I know that allows me to renew. Renewal is painful. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard fought. It may cause you to lose friends. But you know the friendship you're gaining, the Creator is beginning to nod and say, yep, that is the person that I created. That's the person I brought into this world to enjoy all that I have put in this world. This other person that's carrying all this luggage is not who I created. So as you're renewing that, you're renewing the contract with the Creator. And when you renew that contract, when you empty out and you have your hands open for the new experiences, for the new blessings to come, you will be amazed at how much the Creator will pour into you. Don't be afraid to ask. But be afraid of what you are holding on to, because what you're holding on to stops you. I'm one that has gone through quite a bit in my life, but it has not broken me. When I talk about them, I don't talk about them with remorse and anger or anything like that. I just say, boy, I can't believe I went through that and I came out of it. Oh, I meet people who try everything to make my life miserable. I know such people. But you know what? That's their journey. They haven't started the renewal process. So I leave them behind. I cannot stay in their space. I cannot communicate with them. I don't have the time nor the patience, and you don't either. If people don't bring joy in your life, go. Go. Because life is too short. You don't have time to cuddle. You don't have time to cuddle people who don't appreciate you. You don't have time to cuddle people who bring you down. You don't have to cut time to cuddle things that don't move you forward. The contract between you and the Creator is that you are in this world to do something, to be somebody, to enjoy this life. You don't have the time, nor should you have the inclination to be somebody's Bobby Longo. I think I've shared that before. When you're somebody's Bobby Longo, that means you're somebody's fool. They say things to you, you accept it. Not anymore. Not during the course of renewal. Adora says, renewal is tending to a garden that is you. Yes, you are the garden. As you tend, the weeds will show and removal is needed. Those that don't see you grow, never have and never will. Yes, yes, yes. And that's the truth. Your life, you're a flower in the garden. And we all know that beautiful flowers don't always attract beautiful things. They attract weeds. The weeds are there to suck up your energy, to drink from your roots and tangle you up, and so that you can die along with them, so you can be nothing. So tend, like Kano said, tend to your garden. Tend to your garden and do not allow any weeds to come around you. God will put you back together in front of those who try to break you. Yes, Brooke says. North says, take as much time as you need to heal. Recenter, recover, and release. As you remove the layer, the renewal becomes easier to embrace. And so it is. That is so true. Ladies and gentlemen, I can be here forever. I always enjoy these nice talks with you, but I dare you, I want to encourage you to visit my website, and as much as possible, I want to see more people register for the workshop. This has been the Indomodu Show, and I thank all of you. Again, follow me on Facebook, the Indomodu Show, or Instagram, the Power Speaker. Now you can follow me on Indomodu Show on YouTube. And if you want to write to me, the Indomodu Show at gmail.com. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And I look forward to next week when we have a fascinating guest. And I'll announce that in no time. Thank you so very much. And I hope all of you have a very wonderful, wonderful day. And so it is.